Welcome to the Pep Talks. And what's Pep Talk? Pep Talk is an abbreviation for the Performance Edge podcast. Hi, this is Karthik Sundararaman. Thank you so much for being here and for being part of this podcast. It gives me immense pleasure to let you know that the past season of my podcast was called as the Enriching Beliefs with Karthik Sundararaman, and I wanted to focus on a very important topic which a lot of people struggle with. A lot of working professionals, entrepreneurs, coaches, family members who have their kids who are struggling to find their next level deal with, because through the life, somewhere down the line we lost our performance edge. There was that spark that we had previously, which is probably not burning bright now. We had that motivation, that drive that was making us do a lot of things before, that's probably gone a little bit low now. And this podcast is an attempt to help you regain those things, help you find that momentum, find that charge, find that energy back, find that performance edge back in your life. Thank you so much again for tuning in. I wanted to start off this podcast, just relaunch or launch this new version of my podcast with a very important topic. A topic that is probably something that a lot of people don't even know that they're dealing with. And a lot of people know that they're dealing with it, but don't know how do they get out of this. Okay, and the topic is one of burnout. And in this podcast, I'm going to be focusing on how do you beat the burnout and boost your productivity, because I'm going to be sharing 8 points. And these 8 points are not the things which I just read in some blog post or just asked an AI tool on how do you beat the burnout, just give me 8 points. That's not how this is. These are exactly the things that I follow in my life when I know that I'm entering the burnout zone. So here we go. Let's get started, all right? So the internet definition of what burnout means, I was just looking up to that. It said this, okay? Burnout, especially in working professionals, is a state of chronic physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged and excessive stress in the workplace, which can significantly impact one's overall mental and physical well-being, and requires a multifaceted approach for effective detection, reversal, and prevention. That's the big definition of what burnout stands for, what burnout means. And in this podcast, as I said, I'm going to be focusing on the burnout reversal process. How can you actually get out of a burnout or in a 15-day time period? And what are the things that I do when I know that I've either entered the burnout zone or about to enter the burnout zone? Okay, so just watch out for all these things. Especially the last one is something that I recently tried out, which is one of my favorite things. So just stay tuned till the end, because this is going to be value packed for you. Okay, so how do you get out of a burnout? Let's discuss that. The first thing that you can always try out, or the first thing that I always do, is I open up my calendar. Just open up my calendar. Look at the next 15 days. What are all the things that are going to be happening in my life or the next 2 weeks time frame? Clear everything off. Start with a clean slate. And I'll be having only the most important appointments, meetings that I know that I have to be there, where I can add value. And even if there are some dependencies on some of the meetings or appointments, I ask the organizer to just drop me an email so that I can respond back to any specific points that they have a dependency on me about. Okay, as simple as that. It can be not just limited to your profession, but also with your life. And one of the big things that a lot of people lack is the fact that they haven't even created their next week's plan or the next 2 weeks plan. So that's something that I see, it just happens. The life just happens because they just say or keep saying yes to a lot of things that comes their way, and then figure out that there is no breathing space in their life on their calendar that helps them to actually recover. I hope this has gone deep. So please start doing this. Clean out your calendar and just have the only the most important appointments and meetings available on that. Other things, decline politely and say that if there is anything that you think I have to be and must be there, drop me an email and I'll respond to it as soon as possible. As simple as that. The second thing, and let me briefly talk about why why a lot of people don't do that. Okay, a lot of people think that you'll be losing out on a lot of updates, or you will have that you cannot contribute well because you're not in a lot of calls and meetings and all that. But the fact is, when you recover correctly, when you do this process of recovering from a burnout properly, what you're doing is you're adding back focus, energy into your life. That creates more productivity, that gives you back more time, which means it can speed up your action items and you can clear off your tasks much faster. I hope that gave a deeper insight into why this is important. Okay, now let's get down to the second one. The second one, probably easier thing to do, which is to eat clean. Get rid of all the junk. You know what things really suck the energy out of you, what things that you are eating, probably those alcohols that you're consuming, the smoking habits, all these habits that you're putting into your body as food, that's probably sucking the energy out and accelerating this burnout process. So just go clean for the next 15 days at least. Eat clean. When I say eat clean, have a lot of fruits in the diet. When I'm in this zone of burnout, I start my day with banana, then just through the day, just keep eating fruits, a lot of fruits, because that really helps in the detoxification process and also keeps the energy levels high, while not creating, not making you feel hungry and therefore going on and eating a lot of other junk food. Okay, this is something that helps me. So if you think you can try that out, please do that. The third thing you can always do is to hyperhydrate. If you're someone who you measure your water, water consumption, then I think you should start doubling the water intake over the next 14 days and see how you can hyperhydrate. If you're someone who consumes 1 liter, just get to the 2 liter mark. If you're someone who kind of I struggle with this aspect a lot, to consume the right quantity of water. So if you're someone like that, just have a 1 liter bottle. Just make it a point that by the end of the day you should have completed 1.5 or 2 bottles of that. There are a lot of ways to know, as per your weight, as per your body condition, health condition, how much water you have to consume. So if you want any specific recommendation, always consult your doctor. But as a thumb rule, I think just 2.5 liters, I think it's a good point to start off, good measure to have. Okay, so that's the third thing you can always do. The fourth thing that you can do is to prioritize sleep. I always say this to a lot of my students, where if you are going to sleep with your mobile phone in your hand, that means you're cheating yourself. If you can prioritize this one thing over the next 15 days, that you're going to be sleeping for no less than 8 or 9 hours every single day for the next 14 hours, for which you have to be highly self-disciplined and not get your mobile anywhere near your bed, anywhere 10 to 15 feet near your bed. It should be away from your bed, so that you know that this time is for rest and recovery and sleep, and you actually do it. What if you struggle with not falling asleep? Just lay on the bed, stay relaxed. Not so easy thing to do, especially if you're addicted to watching your mobile through the night. Not very easy thing to do, but you have to do it anyway. If you think recovery, if you think you want to get that performance edge back, this is something you have to be highly disciplined on. Okay, that's the fourth thing. And if you're watching this, if there is a possibility for you to comment, please let me know Out of these first four things, what are the things that's already in your mind that you're going to be implementing? All right. The next thing that I always do when I know that I'm entering or I've entered the burnout zone is to minimize digital screen time. It's not just about the night time, but also through the day. I set a 30-minute limit. So I cannot cross 30-minute plus of consumption on my mobile, which means I turn off my mobile from the internet. It's not going to be a smartphone, it's just going to be a mobile. And I just do it, I just prioritize my recovery, my other energy renewal habits and all of those things. That's what I do. So please do this. Set a limit. How can you know the limit? You have a lot of gadgets, lots of widgets that you can add on your home screen of your mobile, which helps you to understand how much time is going into the mobile consumption. Okay, that's the fifth thing. What's the sixth thing? Something that can actually exponentially help you recover faster is this one aspect of meditation. Even if you have 3 minutes, even if you have just 5 minutes with you, set the time aside for connecting with yourself, connecting with the with the universe, with the God, with the Almighty, whatever you want to call it, and just mainly stay connected with yourself so that you calm yourself down. And I always do this for 5 to 10 minutes, especially when I'm in that burnout zone. And the kind of recovery that happens is so much more faster. It's one of the non-negotiables for me to get out of the burnout faster. Okay, that's the sixth thing. And one of my favorite things that's coming up in the point number 8, so just stay tuned. So the seventh thing that I do is to walk in nature. When I say walk in nature, if you have a park or a lot of trees nearby, just go and walk for 30 minutes in the morning and then 45 minutes in the evening. If you're someone who doesn't have these things, the parks or anything, just go up your terrace in the morning around 7:30 or 8 in the morning, get some sun, walk for 30 minutes. I usually listen to some motivational audio, some personal development stuff, and I just walk. And this one thing makes me so alert that it helps me to understand it helps my body and mind realize that it's daytime and it's time for work, because the sun is hitting me and I'm just getting re-energized through the walking and just being in the sun and all of those things. So that's a next thing that you can try out. Okay, walking in nature. And the 45-minute walk in the evening is not more of a re-energizing stuff, although it is, but I look at it as a winding down routine. A lot of times we go through burnout because there are absolutely no wind down routines that are in place. This is one of the winding down routines that you can have. Just a small short walk, maybe 15-20 minutes to start off, slowly increase it to 45 minutes of slow easy walking, just enjoying the nature, just listening to some cool music, just winding down and relaxing. It's something you can try out. The eighth thing which I recently have started off, this is something which has kept me alert throughout the day, in spite of the day being very busy, very stressful. This is one thing that I would highly, highly recommend, more so because we are in summer right now. And that one thing which I'm talking about is cold shower. Okay, as I said, it's already summertime here, so just make sure if you are feeling that burnout, if you really want to get that performance edge back. And when I started doing this, when I had started having these cold showers, I realized that throughout the day I had a very different presence and a very different the attentiveness, if I can put it that way, because my nervous system were relaxed, and I was able to focus longer without feeling that energy drain and all of those things. So cold shower is a game changer. If you've been someone who has always had warm water for bathing, I think it's high time you switch that over to at least lower the temperature a bit through the next 3, 4, 5 days. Lower it every day so that end of third day or fourth day, you can actually start showering with cold water. That's going to be a game changer. Please try that out. And that's the eighth and the final tip for you to gain your performance edge back by beating the burnout. I hope this was superbly useful. As I said, these are not some random things that I just searched on internet or asked an AI tool. These are exactly the things that I do, and that's why I know for a fact that if you start implementing them, it's going to change the game for you. So as your next steps, please make sure that you subscribe to this podcast, to the Pep Talks with Karthik, Sundararaman, and gain that performance edge that you truly deserve, right, and you truly desire, so that you can take your life, your career, business, relationship to the next level that you have in your mind, but you can make that a reality. Okay, so that was episode number 1 of this new flavor of my podcast, the Pep Talks. Thank you so much for tuning in, for taking it through to the end, and for hopefully taking some notes and contemplating on how do you get out of the burnout or don't get into the burnout by implementing one of these 8 tips. So thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, this is Karthik signing off. Have a great day ahead.